Hi there. So, how is the market? It's third quarter 2025. What's going on? Well, I would say it's complex, it can be confusing, and it's full of bad information. Recently, I was looking at my timeline and I saw this article that said Denver housing down 21%, or Denver housing prices are down 21%. And I knew that this didn't line up with what I had been tracking, so I thought, well, sure, I'll do the click and see what's going on. So I clicked in, and what I learned was that it was actually, the article was referring to a certain segment of the Denver market. In a certain segment of the Denver market, there had been 21% of the listings had a price reduction. Okay, that's much different than the headline of prices are down 21%. But buyers are seeing this all the time. Buyers and sellers, for that matter, are seeing it all the time. All the fear mongering, all the pessimists. And you realize that when someone comes up with a scary headline, that's more likely to get you to click, which I did, so it worked for that particular person. But how is the market? Well, what I would say is we're back to normal. This is a normal market after a few years of a very abnormal, weird, strange market that was artificially propped up by 0% interest rates, which turned into 2-3% interest rates on mortgage loans. It was a crazy time. It was very unreal, and now we're back to normal. That's what I would say first. On a national level, we're back to 2019. In a Denver foothills market, I would say we're kind of a repeat of 2024. And what I mean by that is there are about 4.9 months of inventory, and that means that we've got a balanced market between buyers and sellers. One thing I've noticed with buyer agents recently in interacting about our listings is they think that the wheels are coming off to the point of, I've seen offers at $100,000, $150,000 below list price. And when in conversation with the buyer agent, they said, the seller in this market can't expect full price. And I'm thinking, well, there's a big difference between 86% of full price and full price. There's a whole 14% of leeway there. So must be buyers and buyer agents who are hearing that the wheels are coming off, prices are inflated by more than 10% and so forth. Well, that's not accurate. But if you are a buyer, it is a very good time to buy in that you're seeing more inventory, more choice, more opportunity for you to think about it. Not that we ever wrote one of these kinds of offers, but this is certainly not the market where you have to buy a house, almost sight unseen with no inspection, no appraisal, and, as long as it has 4 walls and a roof, I have to buy it. That's not where we are anymore, and that's really good news for buyers. So I would say, take your time, look at the choices, but when you see a house in front of you that meets your criteria that you really like, you should buy the house. Never have I heard anyone who bought a house 5 years ago wish that they hadn't bought a house 5 years ago. So the prices, although this year will probably be at about 1% appreciation, fairly flat, I don't think that it's a time to think that we're about to have some kind of a, off the cliff moment. If you're a seller, you have to be very competitive, fiercely competitive maybe. And that starts with your pricing. Gone are the days where, someone suggests a pricing strategy for you and then you add 50,000, you add 100,000 because you want more money. You have to price realistically and price to our market and be competitive with the other properties out there. The alternative is extended market time, because buyers are going to come look at your house and they're going to think that I like it, I like this property, I love this land, but I think that I can wait. I can wait either on this price to come down, or I can wait for another listing that might come on the market next week that I might like better or I might like as much. So if you're a seller, very competitive in your pricing, do not overprice. And also presentation. You have to pay a lot of attention to presentation now, because buyers are reluctant to spend money on things that they think become a project or things that they have to do after closing. Prepare your property for the market, price that property aggressively, and then of course work with someone that's going to have a great marketing plan for you. One of the things that I enjoy is we have always done custom marketing plans based upon what was right for the particular property. and we're not limited by our brokerage or by our branding or whatever that is. We can really do what's right just for the property. So is it crazy? Is it complex? Is it confusing? Yes, it is also normal. This is a real estate market. Of course, all of them are real at the time that they're in place, but this is just a regular old, we've seen this before. Put your house on the market, price it effectively, prepare it, make the presentation great. If you're a buyer, you do have choices, but when you come to the point of purchase, buy the house. I do think that interest rates might go down more towards 6.25 here in the next, maybe by the end of the year, but they're going to hover between 6.25 and 6.5 probably. I don't think you're ever going to see 3% again. I don't think you're ever going to see 4% again. That wasn't real, and we're not there anymore. But regardless, if you have questions, if you see something in your timeline, if you hear a perspective that doesn't make sense, please reach out. At the McWilliams Group, we think buyers and sellers can be safe and confident buying and selling real estate in this market if they have trusted advice and careful guidance. Call me. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the things that you are seeing. Let's talk about the things that you hear. And most importantly, let's talk about your goals for buying and selling real estate. Please reach out. I'm looking forward to talking to you soon. Thank you.